Hey guys, I'm Nico Skilla, and this is Worth Getting Wednesday being recorded on Friday. And today we are doing Borderlands Dos. And then we got one more week left, and then we do almost 2 months of COD. I know that for some of you who are going to be watching the videos and getting the Worth Getting Wednesday crap, or watching the Worth Getting Wednesday stuff, Worth Getting Wednesday, for those of you who don't know, I go through all of the games I own in alphabetical order on disc, and I guess I kind of do a review, sort of, and, but, we're up to, the end of B now, with this video. And then we will start at C, which there's only really 2 games for. Whoops. For C, I have literally 1 game and then a series of 1 game. And it's going to be a long time of seemingly the exact same crap. So it might be a little bit of a pain, but you'll have to bear with me. And this is my buddy Clyde. He was going to join me on this review, but I think he's busy or doing something else. I don't know. He could be doing it anyway. But anyway, um, we Borderlands on to the topic at hand. Borderlands the second. There's the only real difference between this game and the first game is in this game there's more. Like it doesn't seem like there's more, but there's a little bit more. Like example that I can think of. The guns are actually like let's say specifically like the legendary guns or the mission specific guns, like ones that you get from doing certain tasks, have names and they're actually like specific. There's only like a few, like 1 or 2 ways you can get them, instead of in Borderlands 1 where, oh woohoo, you got a legendary, guess what, I have 6. How do you get them? You hope for the fucking best in that game. In this game, certain enemies will drop them, and oh, I'm over leveled. But certain enemies will actually drop the weapons and make it much easier to, which makes it seemingly easier to attain them because you don't have to do as much farming of the randomest of crap. You just have to farm really specific crap. And I don't know if you can hear the buzzing or the humming noise, whatever you feel like calling it. But I'm going to be doing. Well, I'm probably going to record as much of Cameo as I can after this, assuming I know what I'm doing. Well, I might record more Cameo after this. I have a video basically lying in wait, but it's more or less oh god, I'm gonna see. It's more or less it's a let's play, and I'm trying to get it done as a let's play, so like 1 video a week, instead of me doing the entire thing right now and getting it done. I want it to be like normal, like a normal let's play and with commentary. It's probably not gonna work that way, but I can dream, can't I? No, I can't. I am not allowed. But I keep getting really off track. Borderlands 2, it's pretty much the same as Borderlands 1. The only difference is the controls have changed, weapons have changed, and for those of you who mod the game, you're lazy and you suck, but it's much more difficult to do that in this game. Much more difficult. Though for those of you who are like really, really into modding and that's like your main thing, you're probably fine. But Borderlands 2 has an alright story. It's pretty much the exact same as Borderlands 1, but with a different douchebag as the main villain. Instead of Miss Steele from the first game, it is Handsome Jack, the handsome dick who you kill horribly. Not even in a blaze of glory. You just murder his ass. Why? Didn't mean for that to go that way. Side note, for those of you who know about Borderlands 2, um, there is a leveling system, and there's like story and stuff. And the reason why I seem really, really overpowered is because I don't actually think I have much progression in this game's story right now. Like I used to. Like I had a few characters that had it beaten multiple times, but then I got a new PS3 slash I had to format it, so I don't have the data anymore. And the data that I did have and I saved to USB, I can't use anymore because it says it's from a different account, which sucks. But whatever. Do with what we get. And like something that's pretty well. I'm trying to be on track with this, but it's really difficult because it's Borderlands and it doesn't have it has a track, but it doesn't care that it has a track because it's kind of like an RPG. It has RPG elements in a first-person shooter basis. Like guns have different stats and you have different abilities, and enemies will always vary generally, and that kind of thing. So it's basically a typical RPG, but with guns and in first person perspective instead of in the overview or in some other variation of perspective. It's all first person and it's all well, unless you're on a vehicle. It's in first person and it's a shooter, but it's not bad. Like it does what it tries to do really well. So it's not like it's just exploding on itself into its own pitiful demise. It does what it needs to do, and it accomplishes it in a very good way. And so there's not a whole lot to say. Like the bosses are fun, and they're they have their various like difficulties and stuff, and that's cool. But not all of them are bosses you're gonna want to fight, or not all. Or let me rephrase that. Not all of them are bosses you're going to care for. Like there are some, like the boss I fought a few seconds ago that I totally annihilated in one blow. He dropped a legendary weapon, and that's why I fought him because I was going to see if I can get it on video, which is a no-go. And so now I'm fighting another boss, the second, I guess, of the bosses that you get to fight early in the game. And their name is Boom and Boom. Both spelled differently, same word though. And that's basically what it is. Like you just kind of, it's Borderlands. It's second verse the same as the first, but this one had like more into it. So it has a bigger story. It has more of an area. It's Borderlands 1 but with more in it. And generally, it's not a bad thing. It works well, and it does what it does, and it does it good. Whether I think, and as for my actual like opinion of the game, you can get it for pretty cheap. I think it's $20 now, but it is like it's a lot for uh, what it is because it's it's got its moments, but it also has its flaws. Like it'll start feeling pretty repetitive after a while and stuff like that. Like pretty much normal stuff that you find in a first-person shooter. The only thing is it lasts a little bit longer because of the RPG stuff. So like you want to find the best guns or the legendary crap, and you want to fight all the monsters and stuff like that. And that's kind of what holds it up to something that you keep playing is that it still has stuff to do. Even now, the game has been out for a pretty long time, and it's it's still getting like they're still making like little DLC for it. They pretty much are done with all the big DLC. They'll make like little 2 mission DLCs and for like Christmas and Halloween kind of thing, and that's cool. And that does give it a few points in the good books of games, but it's still a shooter and it still gets repetitive. Especially like for me, I've played through this game I don't know how many times with all of the characters, including the DLC ones. But it doesn't give it any more depth than it does without the DLC. Like yeah, with the DLC missions for the big DLC, you get more and there's more to do and stuff. But that's what DLC is. DLC gets you to do more and gets you to have more of the game. But it's like um it should make me more interested in it, but it doesn't do that very well because it's just the I'm okay with the first-person shooting genre. Don't get me wrong. I do love certain games from the series from the genre, and some of them I actually will recommend. But for this specific game, it's not really doing what it should. Like it has a few things that it could do a little bit better. Like the story, it's only like a 1 or 2. It's a 1 through if you're doing it solo. Maybe a second playthrough or so if you have a friend who's willing to like help you through or that you are going to help with the game. But like even the side quests, they're too not necessarily easy because some of them are kind of a bitch, but they're not something that like you play more than once and you're like, oh, this is so fun. It's awesome. It doesn't give you that vibe. It's more like if you play it through more than once, then you just get to the point where you can go through the entire game in an hour without noticing. Aside from the fact that you're playing a game, like you don't notice that you're just doing everything off of like remembering the exact thing you needed to do against that one boss that one time, like third through the game. So this is gonna be a weird thing, but it's not memorable, but it's really easy to remember. Not memorable, but it's really easy to like remember everything you have to do and be able to like do it in a split second. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's that's what it is. Like it's like a one and done, really. And that's not really a good thing, especially if like you want something to like be. Say you're an avid fan of Call of Duty, and you have some friends that recommend you a game, and they recommend you this game specifically. You will not be playing this until the next Call of Duty DLC comes out, let alone the next game. So it's not really the most positive that it could be. Like there's a lot of places that it could do better. Mind you, there's a lot of places it could have done worse, but there's still a lot that could be done. And the story ends on a cliffhanger because it just says like there's other vaults and the vault is the main thing. Like that's the main game's objective for both games. And it just ends it there. Like there's still more vaults. We still have things to do. Then it just kind of ends, and that's it. And it's really irritating that it does that because this game could have a really good story, but it feels like they just kind of only put in so much. But all in all, I'd say if you want to pay about $20 for something, or you can find it for less than that, this is a game worth getting. But you're gonna want the DLC, and you're gonna want to make sure that you have some other friends that have the game as well. But I would definitely say it's kind of optional. Not necessarily a game that you should definitely get, but not necessarily a game that you should try and miss out on either. So if I was gonna do this with ratings, I would say this game is like 7 out of 10, let's say, because it's good, but it's not great. So that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and like. It's been Nico Skilla, and it has been Worth Getting Wednesday. I will see you guys next week, where I will do a kind of review, where I do a Scotty view of Chaotic Shadow Warriors.